Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to get started on the Polar Vortex sampler. So you're going to create something like this where we can see lots of different polar images. So how to get started. In Photoshop, we're going to create a new document. So File, New, and instead of doing a piece of paper, we're going to hop over to Print, but then we're going to change this. We're going to do 8 inches, so I'm going to replace that with 8 by 8, and that will give me a square. Make sure it says 300 RGB, and then you can add your name here. So I'm going to write Dreon, Polar, Vortex, Polar Sampler, and this is period 1. Okay, and then I'm ready to create. And you can see I have a square document. Again, on this projector, it looks a little bit more rectangular, but I promise you it is a square. Okay, I'm ready to start doing the polar. So I'm going to hop over here. I'm going to grab a landscape, and I'm going to right-click to copy it right here, and then I'm going to hop back to Photoshop, and I'm going to paste it in. Edit, paste, which Control-V is the shortcut. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I need to free transform it, edit, free transform. Again, the shortcut's Control-T. And I'm going to make this fit the square exactly. Do you notice, like, when I'm moving my things around, it like kind of, when I get close to the edge, it kind of snaps to it, and I know that it's lining up nicely. You need to make sure that your view snap is on. So make sure that this checkbox is on. It most likely is. Just double check. If it is, you don't have to do anything. All right, and I'm going to make this 8 inches. Then I hit enter. It's really important that you size it, hit enter, and then size it again, and then size it again. And I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to say hit enter, and then we're going to go up to filter, distort, and polar. And I'm going to zoom out of my little box, and you can see it applies this nice effect. Now, does everybody see up here, there's this weird line? There's lots of different ways in Photoshop to get rid of it, but the easiest way is just to use a mirror image that connects like this side to this side. So I'm going to hit undo, and I'm actually going to create a mirror image first. So how can I do that? I'm going to hit Control-T. So this is already, my whole thing is 8 inches. Now I'm going to shrink it down to 4. So I'm going to hold Shift on my keyboard, and I'm just going to drag until I get to 4. There we go. And then I'm going to make a second copy, and I can right-click, duplicate, or I can hit Control-J on my keyboard. And now you see I have 2. And then I'm going to Control-T. I can also say free transform. Right-click, flip horizontal. And that's going to give me a second piece that I can snap together. And now I have a mirror image. The last thing I'm going to do is turn this into one layer, and I can merge them. How do I do that? I hold Shift. I select both layers by clicking. Then I can layer, I think merge layers is here. Merge layers, or I can right click and say merge layers. And there we go. Now if I filter, distort polar coordinates, I'm going to have a nice seamless image. Zoom out, and you can see it wraps together really nicely, and I can't tell where it begins and ends. Okay, I'm going to do this a few more times. So here's another landscape. Let's try this one. Right click, copy image, Photoshop. I'm going to paste it in, Control-V, Control-T to transform it. Then I'm going to make this a square. And then it's really important I hit enter, and then I free transform it a second time. Control-T, and then I'm going to stretch this over to 4 inches. I guess you don't really need to hold Shift. And then I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to duplicate layer. I can also just hit Control-J. And then I'm going to Control-T, right click, flip horizontal. Now I have 2 of them. They're mirror images. I hold Shift, I right click, and I merge them. Filter, distort, polar. You're going to do this about 9 times because the first few you're going to go really slow, and you're going to say, wait, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? By the time you get to number 9, you're going to be super fast. So I'm going to show you, I'll do a few more for the video. I'm going to look up something else. I'm going to look up clouds. So try a few landscapes and then try some other stuff. So I'm going to try clouds. Let's see what this will look like. Copy image. Actually, those were kind of boring clouds. I want like, sure, let's do this rainbow cloud. Copy image. You know what? This has some weird edges. Let's do this one. Let's see. Load, load, load. Hurry up. Okay, that one's not loading. Okay, we'll do this one. Okay, right click, copy image, Photoshop, Control V is paste, Control T, make it into a square, Control T it a second time, make it 4 inches. You can see it said there 4 inches. Control J to duplicate it. Now I have 2. Control T, flip it, line it up, merge them, shift click, right click, merge, then I filter, distort, polar. Alright, I'm gonna try a pattern also. Let me look up a pattern. Let's see. This one, somebody in my other class did this one, it looked very cool. Right click, copy image, Photoshop, paste it in, Control T. This image is way too big. I'm zooming out, Control minus. Remember Control minus and Control plus. So I'm gonna first make this into the square, push enter, then Control T it and make it 4 inches. Control J to duplicate it, Control T to transform it, flip it, enter, merge, filter, distort, polar. Okay, try a pattern, try something that's not a landscape, try a few landscapes. I'm going to try a painting, landscape painting. Let's see. Oh, let's see what this looks like. That might be cool. That one's already a square. All right. I first make it 8 inches, push enter, then I Control T it, I make it 4 inches, I Control J to duplicate, I Control T to transform it, I flip it, line it up, merge it, filter, distort, polar. There we go. So you're going to try a bunch of different things. You're going to try 9. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to continue on until I have 9. We're going to pretend that I have 9 right now. Once you have all 9, you can select all your layers by holding Shift. So again, I'm just holding Shift on my keyboard. I'm pressing down the button that says Shift, and I click the top layer to the bottom layer, and I can Control T, and then I can shrink them down so that way I can fit all of, actually I guess, this is 8 inches, so what's 8 divided by 3? It's gonna be less than 3. I need to make it like less than 3 inches. There we go. Oops. And then I can move them around, arrange them. Go to each of my layers, move them around so they fit here. Okay? All right, and then you'll save that, and then that's what you're gonna turn in. So I'm gonna hop off the video, and then I'll post this video.